maybe assess Malik's play, like the decision to
Yeah.
start Ford, what led to that, and then the quarterback play.
Well, Fortin, basically in practice, had won that job, and that was the decision there. Had a really good week. Certainly, there's a difference in playing somebody's first team and somebody, scout team. Our scout team's a little depleted as well right now with all the injuries that we have. But when Malik came in there, obviously he took off on the long run, and we went down and scored, and it gave us a spark. And so, for the most part, he played the rest of the game. For the most part, we brought Cade back in there, and we weren't disappointed in Cade. It's just, Malik had brought us a spark, throwing and running, and so that was a decision, Tom, going into that for the game.
Sam, when you put Malik in, I guess on the third series, was that the plan, or was it just, we're down 14-0, and you gotta get something going? Or why'd you put Malik in when you did? Just what'd you think?
Well, we were down, obviously, but we had talked about playing both of them and getting them in the game early. We didn't want to go one. I'm not for sure if he didn't come in the second series, did he? I think it was the second series, and well, no, you're fine. And we thought, because we had a hard time early in the game protecting, we thought maybe we could put Malik in there, and he, we'd get on the edge a little bit more, because they were firing at us up the middle with some of their blitzes, and we thought maybe we could get away from some of that with him, and also use his running ability, which we knew that we were going to do. So yeah, we had that plan that we were going to play him, and then basically just try to kind of go with the hot hand at that point. And certainly he made some big plays, and we stayed with him a lot more than what we did with Cade.
And his passing, just, as a runner, but he made some big passes.
Yeah, I mean, he made a great throw to Bryce. Bryce made a great catch on that as well, and hit Hazelwood, and I thought he was a little more accurate today than what he has been at practice and things. The short ones still gave us a little bit of trouble, but I thought for the first time that he played a tremendous amount of ball. I mean, I know he played maybe the fourth quarter at the Outback Bowl, but I thought he did a really, really nice job.
You mentioned Cade won the job in practice. What specifically did he show you in practice that won the job? And then did Malik maybe show you that he's kind of a gamer today?
Well, yes, on the second one, I think he showed that. On the first one, he took care of the ball better, and in all honesty, I thought going into the game, if we could turn around and hand the ball to our backs and run the ball, that I thought Fortin could pick them apart. And certainly, I don't know if that could have came or not, because our protection wasn't there for him. So sometimes you plan on one thing and it doesn't work, but certainly I'm not disappointed at all in Cade. I'm not, but that's how he won the job. That basically we thought that we can throw the ball a little bit better with him, and our running game had been pretty good handing off to backs. But KJ, with him being that threat, it certainly helps your running game, whether he runs it or not.
When did you know that KJ for sure was going to be able to play today?
Thursday. Thursday, I was pretty sure that wasn't positive, but I was pretty sure. What happens is they have to do some type of physical activity. And once we got, let's say this, I think he could have done the physical activity on Friday and got cleared and played today, but he hadn't practiced. And I mean, he had, but it was Indy, and he hadn't practiced a whole lot. And to be perfectly honest with you, it just wasn't worth it to me. And I didn't want to put him out there. And so that's what happened.
So based on that, getting over the final hurdles, you feel like early next week he could be back at
You
practice.
know, Ty, I think, in all honesty, I think we can bring him in and get him, he's had some running and some things that they have to test, you know what I mean? He just hasn't been hit, so I think we can bump him around a little bit, you know, even tomorrow and have him cleared for Monday. That was the plan. After Thursday, when we're going, you know, he had a little bit of a headache on Thursday and a mild headache, and I'm going, okay, I'm not doing it. And Dave and them were with me as well. I'm not saying that, but at that point I said, hey, look, you practiced on Wednesday, we're gonna take you, but that's it. We're not gonna do it.
So your offense had 2 4th down stops inside. I think both of them were in the 10 each half. What did you think of the play calling, what you did there?
Well,
How-
I liked it. I tell you what, the first one, it was 3rd and 1. And we did a little roll off that little run that we've been doing, the little backdoor run that has worked for us, you know. And you know, it was a close call out there. I thought Hazelwood was going to get open there, and we didn't connect. And then the next one I thought we should have gotten, we just didn't. We had them covered up pretty good. We didn't get the push, and we didn't ram it in there, you know, like 4th and 1 would be. And then certainly the one on the goal line. You know, there's always thought of, you know, we were down 3 scores. But I don't know a man in here or woman in here that would not go for it on 4th and 1, down 3 scores on the 1 yard line. Obviously, I was wrong, and it didn't work. It could have got us within two scores, but I like the play call. I was in there on the play call. I thought we could run it in there, and the guy come off the edge on us and got us. I don't know if we'd made it, honestly, whether he did or not, to be honest with you, but I don't have any, you know, I wish they'd have worked, but I'm on the headsets with the call being made, and I can veto, and I didn't, so.
So the impact of those, I mean, 'cause
Huge.
if you score on them,
Yeah, they're huge. I mean, you're looking at 14 points minimum, and I'm adding the 3rd and 1 coming out that we had to punt. You know, we didn't make that one either. So that situation football, it always sneaks up. You know, it'll get you, and it got us today. But it would have been a game, I think, had we been able to convert those 2 4th downs. But we couldn't.
You're dropping a lot of guys, really couldn't get any heat on Rodgers today. What'd you think of that aspect?
Yeah, well, you know, we've been running that same defense now for 3 years against them, you know, and you know, we had an opportunity. We had some things in there where we could get Drew up on the ball to rush and things of that nature. And we were going to go to that a little bit earlier, but then we started losing some guys. And then, you know, when Slusher didn't come and then we lost 2 more, then it's hard to have tremendous confidence into doing a whole lot, to be perfectly honest with you, assignment wise. And we took a slow drubbing is what ended up happening.
Coach, quick frustration on the opening kickoff, kick it out of bounds, opening play of the second
Yeah,
half.
second half.
Just frustration.
Yeah, you know, the opening kickoff, David, was I thought about it because Bates, you know, had a scholarship here at Mississippi State, and he decided to stay at Arkansas, walk on. And so I'm sure he was, you know, jammed up on trying to kick it, you know, in the nickel bleachers, and kicked it out of bounds, which gave him 35-yard line. And of course, you got a right to stop somebody from there too, you know, which we got a penalty right off of the bat on that as well. And then, you know, there was a little bit of panic on AJ's part because we practiced that scenario in practice where it's it's a muff into the end zone. You just go back there and you get on it and you get the ball, you know, out to the 25, but he panicked and got it back out to the inch line. We didn't do anything with it, and they ended up getting the ball on about the 45, I think, and not good.
Coach, it sure seemed like you guys were gonna get an interception today, get
Uh,
35 tip balls. It feel like you were gonna pick one off, it just didn't happen.
Yeah, you know, I think HUD had one, Drew had one that I remember right, you know, just right now that I thought, you know, sure could change the game, you know, just getting them off the field. Because they were very patient, you know, they just looked at where we were and tried to pick it apart, and they did a great job. Obviously, they had 568 yards of offense. But yeah, those, you know, those certainly could have helped us, you know, and could have come in some critical times where we, you know, we weren't really out of the ball game until late, you know. I mean, we just needed to convert and we couldn't do it.
Truly, Sam, ball bounces one way, ball bounces the other day during games, but the injuries that you guys have sustained to the names of AJ, Miles, Pat not being hit anymore, Ladarius Bishop is out. I mean, how much of a toll has that truly been on this football team?
Well, I appreciate your question. It's gonna get picked apart no matter the answer. And I know that. So the truth is a lot. Okay. But the realization is that, you know, you have your depth chart. The problem is you'd be okay if you go, then you head to threes and, you know, obviously we've got to continue to recruit. We got to continue to develop the ones that we have. And we believe in those guys. It's just a lot of them haven't played much ball but yeah, it takes a toll. It's frustrating, to be honest with you. But at the same time, every Saturday you have a game and you better get ready for it. And we've lost 3 in a row. I told the kids after if anybody asks them a question, blame me, because I'm the head coach and I'm the one that deserves the blame. And I'm not trying to be holier than thou up here. I believe that I'm the head coach. I deserve the blame. I guess basically what I'm saying is I don't want our kids. There's a difference in losing and being a loser. And there's a difference. And we lost, but we're not a group of a bunch of losers because we can come back. And our goal from the beginning of the year was to go to a bowl. And it could be the playoff bowl, it could be this, but our minimum goal is to get to a bowl game. And we still have that opportunity. And you know how it is. You know how it is when you lose something to play for. Then it's hard, but we haven't. And I tried to explain that with our football team. And I think we're going to be just fine. We need a bye week. We need to get healthy, but we don't have that. You know, we have BYU Saturday, and we'll go up there. And when we get off the plane and off the bus, we'll believe we're going to win. I mean, that's just how it is. I'm not worried about the team. I'm not. But yes, I'd like to get a long answer to yes, I'd like to get healthy.
If I understood,
What did their defense do that gave your offensive line? They couldn't get that close.
You know, it was the backside. You know, we knew that they were going to blitz away from the back. I mean, we knew that. We tried to jump. You guys saw we tried to do some things on the goal line, trying to bring him in late so they couldn't make it check and all those type things. We knew they were going to do that. The backside played fast because they were wrapping the backside and for the quarterback run. And a lot of backside hits on us today that normally will spit through there because they're sitting back there waiting on a read. And when they fire another guy off the edge, then that end's coming underneath. And we got in a lot of backside trouble today.
if I understood you earlier, you said there was a plan to maybe mix things up defensively, but injuries prevented that from happening. Is that
Well,
accurate, or-
No, what I'm gonna say was, yeah, I mean, to be honest, because we were gonna put Drew down a lot to allow him to become that pass rusher. Well, then, you know, when we're going with the nickel situation, then you're talking about 27 going out and playing some nickel. Well, then we felt better with Drew inside than, and we did try it a few times, but that was that. And then some line games and some different things were things, but we couldn't, we couldn't handle the edge. And whenever you can't handle the edge, then you're going, well, you can't take this guy underneath, because if you do, now you've got an extra blocker outside. So yeah, there were some things that we thought physically we could handle, and then we could go off of that. And when you couldn't handle the first part of the base part of it, we tried some knot games and some things of that nature. It just didn't seem like a whole lot of it worked, to be honest with you.
I think you said 2 guys got banged up. I saw Jaden Johnson had to come off the field.
Jaden and Kyrie,
Okay, do you have any update on that?
I don't.
I don't know if individual stuff, ain't a big deal in the leagues, but Bumper did set the pack.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Well, I'm so sad I didn't know that when I would address the team, nothing against anything. Nobody wanted to talk to me coming off the field, I get it. Well, I wish we'd have won, and if we would have, I think what a great celebration it would have been for him. I'm so proud of him. Guys, he's hurt all the time. You never hear it, but he is. And people go, well, he missed that tackle. Hell, you would be too if you felt like Bumper Pool. I mean, but he's tough, and he's the best we got. I mean, he's doing great, or he wouldn't be out there. But he's been that way for 3 years, basically. He's been hurt, but he's tough. Wonderful family, wonderful kid. Something his kids will be able to say forever, that, well, till somebody else breaks it, but for a long time, they'll be able to say, my daddy, tackle more guys ever than anybody else at Arkansas. And I think that's a huge, huge deal. And I know it is for him. Let's say this, how we've always said, I want to do this. This is my goal, and this, that, and the other. And then you fall short. His whole reasoning was to come back to the team this year, was to help the football team and set the tackle record. And he did it. I think that's pretty cool. I just wish we had won the game for him, to be honest with you.
Not sure if Slusher was here. Might he be able to travel?
Yeah, I think Slush is gonna be okay. But certainly no way he could have played today. We had to make a medical decision there, and no way he could have played today. But I believe he'll be ready by Monday.
That's fine.
Their run game surprised you? They were so.
No.
They were hammered today with run.
No, because that's what they had been doing. It surprised me that they could do it without using 2 backs. I thought, 2 3 yard run, we were ready to, okay, but they were 7, and we knew we knew they ran so hard, but they run over us, we couldn't get him on the ground. And that's been a little bit of problem this year, or a lot of problem this year, and we just got to continue to work it.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, guys.